Okay guys, I'm supposed to be having a day off today, but Haircuts requested that I look at euro dollar, which I'm about to go to market on a scalp as we speak. Let me just get the order in, switch these indicators off. It's ready to rock and roll, so we're just going to drop in a very quick order underneath here, and that order is Kabash. Now, all we're looking to do is get it down onto this line here. So it's about 20 quid is about the first position we're going to get. Now that's based on it being down here. Now I'm going to edge that up slightly, but I'm going to edge the target slightly as well, so we can get it maybe 5 pips. Now, these trades are really just for consistency reasons. I kind of do all of my work inside of the squad. So I've done a breakdown for the guys here, which is in Bulls and Bears. I put in what it is that I'm up to here as well. So 9 o'clock, they can say I'm looking to scalp on the euro at this point. It comes from the strength sheet that I do a matrix every morning for them. Now what we can see is the euro has gained ground and it's moving up the ranks, but the US is at the top of the tree. So it's currently stronger than the euro, and the euro lost a lot of ground. So there's a reasonable argument that this may well be starting to sell, which it is, because it's just triggered in now. And the idea of this has come from, is it possible I could break down Euro USD? So I don't pick the charts, the guys pick them, and I just trade it for them, okay? And like I say, I'll do the video, it's already up for them to see it. What you're looking at now is the fruits of that labour, because I believe in doing your homework. What you should be doing also is looking to stage backwards. I'm a big believer in not going 100% to market. Now, there's a lot of people argue with me, and it's all over the place about how terrible I am for doing this. And don't listen, because when it goes wrong, you lose more than you win. Actually, you don't. It's the other way around. I never put as much investment on the table as what you do, because I go in partially, so therefore my costs reduce as it goes against me, but they actually increase as it goes for me. So the argument doesn't hold any water. The next argument that I always get is, you win too much. No, I don't. You lose too much. There's a big difference. If you're good at your job, you should be able to nail it more times than you get it wrong. So if you're working on this, oh, well, I can only win 4 times out of 10. Basically, you're just shit at the job and you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. You know, you take your car to a mechanic and he repairs that 4 times out of 10. That mechanic is shit. So why the hell do you deal with him? You know, it's like getting a plumber around to your house. How many leaks do you fix? I fix 4 of them out of 10. So the other 6 fuck the house. Well, that's what it is with trading. You should have a pretty good high hit rate. And if you don't, well, you shit at the job. And it's that simple. All right? And if you can't get that through your head, well, watch somebody else. It's that simple. Because I get it all the time. Is there losers on the channel? Yes, there are losers on the channel. And some of them are a proper bloodbath. But I'm accepting those losses. Now, every time when I come to market, you see it rolling on from the next day. The guys in the squad, they see what I'm going to do before I do it. Now, that's some trick. You know, it's very easy to say retrospectively when you watch all the other channels and one thing or another say, well, I got in here and I got out there. Yeah, 3 months ago. Well, if I knew what was going on 3 months ago and I'm doing it today, well, then I'd be a billionaire, wouldn't I? So it's a bit harder when you're sort of saying it before you do it, not after you've done it. It's that simple. But, c'est la vie. I do these for my own enjoyment. That's it. If you like it, subscribe. If you don't, there's plenty of other channels out there. So, what are we looking at here? Well, the premise of the trade is very simple. Get your direction in place first. Understand whether there's any strength in the market, whether there's any momentum in the market. If there is, then you can put your bigger targets in. If there's no momentum, no strength, you put lower targets in. You target from your entry point to the next area of bounce or someplace where it's going to stall, which will be an area of interest. That's what these are. If you're wrong, you've got to know where you're wrong. Well, my trading arenas is from there to there. So if I'm wrong, that means it's got to break out of these two levels. Well, if that happens, well, then I'm screwed. But on a 5-minute chart, that looks massive. But on an hourly chart, which is where I live, it's not that big at all. In fact, it's tiny. Now we look at the structure of the market. Why would I be wanting to sell it? Well, the question I'd be asking is, why wouldn't I want to be selling it? Look, high, lower high, lower high. Market is genuinely pushing down. It's currently now pulling back on itself, ready to drop. Now, could this be at the bottom of the market? Well, it's Friday, so highly bloody possible. And until it breaks fully through this level, this could be a bounce point. If it is a bounce point, it could be one of these bounces. I don't want to be caught in one of them, but I've seen it buy up for 3 hours, and you sell when it's most green and you buy when it's most red. Most people don't. What they do is they go, oh, it's green, I've got to buy it, let's buy it. And what you end up doing is you buy it here. You buy at the top of the market, and then you've got to wait a hell of a long time for it to come back and then down. And what happens is it doesn't, because the chances are you've bought it at the top of the market. So if you're going to buy, you buy down here. You buy when it's most red. There. You buy when it's most red, wallop. You sell when it's most green. Principle on the scalp, exactly the same here. Now, once I've got that direction in place, I've got all of these levels in place. These levels here that you see, the dotted lines and the solid lines, they are the single most important thing that I put on this chart. The single most important thing. Indicators don't mean jack. Okay? Because what they are, they're just a representation of what's happened in the past, and it's all lagging. So is it going to do anything in the future? No, I've got no idea where the moving average will be in the future. I've got no idea whether the ADX is going to be pumping or not. I really don't. But those levels, because they're created from very good money flow, and where there was value in the past, there's value in the future. It will tell me where the market is going, because they are fixed points in time. And what that means is, doesn't matter where I look, that level will be exactly the same. So if I've got the direction right and looking at the way that the market stalls, it is going to come onto these levels. So therefore, they become good target points and areas of attraction to contain the price. And if you got it right, you get your win rates right up through the roof. And the other part of it, of course, just trade less. I trade once or twice a day, and I only trade when the conditions are correct. And if the conditions are not correct, I don't trade. If you open up the chart and go, well, I'm here, give me a trade, I've got a half an hour, I need to find a trade. Yeah, the trade's called being a bricklayer, because put trading isn't for you. That's gambling. Go down to Ladbrokes, put £1 on, and you'll be fine. But if you look at the chart and think, I like the structure of this, but it's not ready, I'll just have another look at it in a few hours' time, then you're in with a shot. Simple stuff. All right? I hate gamblers. They're the bane of my life, because every single one of them are fucking arseholes. And they are. And they're arseholes because they lose and they blame somebody else for their losses. Take responsibility for your own actions. It's that simple. Anyway, let's play this out. Okay guys, we've been in this for quite a few hours now, and it's been one of them horrible trades. Now, the situation is this: we're going to have to make a decision to get out. It's right up onto the pain point, which is this red mark here. Once it gets there, I start looking to be getting out. So it closed above, and what I'm doing is I'm systematically watching the candles come down till it gets to a point where I can go what's called net positive. Now, net positive means, well, it's there now, bash, we're out. Okay, what that means is very simple. The trade idea hasn't quite worked out. It went against me, but it stayed within the tolerances that I was after. The actual general market, which is what I monitor here, hasn't changed at all. It was just an overextended pullback. In fact, it pulled back a lot further than I thought. I thought it was here, but it actually came up to this point. So it hasn't gone as far against me as it looks. So it looks terrible on a lower time frame. And obviously when you're judging your account against mine, it looks terrible. But in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that bad. Now, what happens at this point is you've got to make a very logical decision as to how to get out of it. And how to get out of it was very simple. I follow my rules. You know, I have a 5 rule set. Well, it's 3 rules. It's 1, 2, 3 targets, 4 get out where I got in, 5 where I get out. These are the rules. Now, it went to 5, so it was just a case of get out. It's also Friday. I hate trading on a Friday. So thank you very much for that haircut. That was a wonderful idea of yours this morning. The premise of the trade was still probably correct. However, it just didn't play out as planned. Now, in those scenarios, a bit like today, what you do is you manage your way through it. Now, if it had got much further and closed beyond that red line, then that would have been it. That would have been done over. But as you can sort of see by the tail, it never closed above it. So therefore you follow the trail of the red candles back till you get to a point where you can actually get out. And that's what I've done. And this is the thing, you know, I get it all the time. You win all the time. Well, there's a trade that I didn't win, but I'm still net positive, you know. And net positive just means exactly what it says it is. Let me just quickly show you. So you get all your tickets out, but net positive means it doesn't matter what happens here, what happens here, what matters is that bit. So it's £3. £3 is all I've made on that trade. But it's £3 more than I started with. So I'm happy. And it's just one of them things. It just went a bit tits up, followed the plan, you know, and the plan was very simple. You know, you keep an eye on these things here, your 15-minute, closed above, time to get out, follow the red candles down, bash. And you were monitoring it on that, and it did exactly the same thing. And then you get out at your first opportunity. And it doesn't matter if it keeps on going. The trade idea was extinguished. That's it. Have yourselves a good weekend. Catch you soon.